Last night was the Pattern Thrasher night, and there'd be music and singing and dancing in the white sands and around the place. And today is the Pattern Day, and tomorrow will be what they call Crew Bean Day. You can get crew beans and spare ribs to eat from the pubs and in one of the shops.
Morning.
Well done.
Morning.
Well done.
How are you? Are you keeping? I know fear of us.
The CIE bus will pass by here about 10 to 5, right?
Hello, lads.
Good morning. Hi, David.
Hi, Tom. Jim, how's the farm?
How are you?
How are you?
Good morning.
Well done, lads.
Got fair conditions in there. Are they dry?
Right.
I am from Kilmiley, which is just a few miles from here, and I have never missed a pattern in years, and it's a very special occasion and it's a very old tradition, one of the oldest actually. So long may it continue, and we are always hoping for a fine day.
She said she'd get the crowd, eh? Go on, we're in there. Behind him, then, again.
I know, but don't give the space like you should.
You have to go up like. Yeah, you want me to turn them?
Is that moving there?
Anything left inside my.
So I think you have the best seat in the house, have you?
We have, I'd say we take this every year.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
exit.
Yeah, this is my grotto.
That's your grotto.
Yeah, and my sister seats down there.
Okay, but you get the better seats here.
Yeah.
You're right behind the bishop. I
Yeah,
get a shot.
my dad put down the seat down there
How close you are.
for Fiona.
Very good. And nobody comes and sits in front of you, no?
No.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls to heaven, especially those who have most need of thy mercy. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hail Mary, and full of grace, the Lord is with
Yeah, I answer.
Saya kasih orang lain.
No, I mean, are you down to do it? No, no. Or you're not doing one of the reading? No. Is there a reason?
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Peace be with you.
And with your spirit.
Good morning, one and all.
Good morning.
Good morning to all around here in the grounds. Special welcome to those seated in the cars. Special welcome to any who are elderly among us. And welcome to those who, the group who have walked out from Tralee, that tradition. It's good to be here. It's good to be back. This will be my 10th time here at Ballyheigue. How quickly the years pass. We think of 2020. That year I celebrated Mass on the nearest Sunday in the church in Ballyheigue. And then last year, 2021, I was here, but I think it was without a congregation. It was relayed, it was streamed. So it's good to be back to normal. The atmosphere, the crowds, the grounds. And it's lovely to see the grounds so well cared for. And the extensive grounds incorporating the rosary and the well and the Station of the Cross. So welcome back. It's good to gather to honour Our Lady Mary, the Mother of God, and a true loving mother to us all. Truly blessed the day that Mary was born. And that's what we celebrate this day. Truly blessed Mary, who is a near for all of us, when we are in trouble or in need. In our Mass, let us give thanks to God for the strength to cope with what we have coped with over the past 2.5 years. Let's count our blessings and come true. And we thank God too for the goodness and selflessness of so many in our community. Goodness and selflessness of all around us, which have made it so possible and served us so well through the challenges of the past 2.5 years. I think when we give thanks, we naturally too trust for the future. Let's entrust our future, let's entrust the year ahead the years ahead to God through Our Lady this day.
Might finally receive all glory and praise. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
When the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because she has conceived what is in her by the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son. He is the one who is to save his people from their sins. Now all this took place to fulfill the words spoken by the Lord through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel.
We have great difficulties as a people. The most obvious one is very, very serious for very, very many. An awful lot of young couples affected, and others too. There's all sorts of people affected, and that is how impossible it is for so many to get a home to settle in, a home to rent, a home to buy it, an affordable situation. Those are ongoing, and then on top of it, the awfulness now of electricity prices and home heating prices and the cost of running a car. So we face ongoing difficulties. Let us trust in God. Let us do our best. Let us help one another, look out for one another, support one another. Let's be there for each other. And let's put others first. Let's keep our children secure. This week in the Kerry Man and Kerry's Eye, there's all the photographs of the 4-year-olds beginning school. I think us adults, we naturally, put the children first. Many parents often say, if the children are happy, I'm happy. But let us be united, working together, helping one another, cooperating with what's asked of us by local government and by the state, believing that we'll come through. An image that came to me is, you think of Jesus feeding the 5,000. Was there someone there with 5 loaves and 2 fishes? And Jesus said, tell the people to sit down. And together as a community, God could help them. God did help them in Jesus. And maybe just for that to point to us, let's be a community. Let's be together. Let's not be selfish. Let's look out for one another. Let's see that everybody has the basics. And I think that spirit, if it's there in our country, and it is there in our nature, that spirit will help us cope with the year that's ahead.
Our Lady for gathering us this day. And beautiful words that she spoke at Cana were to do whatever he tells you. Those who mentioned to her that the wine had run out. Even Mary's words to us this day is, listen to God and do what God is asking of us.
Lord, hear our prayers for the peace in Ukraine and around the world. We ask your protection for the people of Ukraine. Make free those who are in captivity. Support and protect brave defenders and peace and freedom in Ukraine and other countries. Bless abundantly those who support refugees around the world. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
It is. Do you want me to get it for you? Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah? The small glasses. Oh, you don't need it. No problem. Remind yourself for the
Oh my God, we're blessed.
Music played in the window. Oh, you're right. I saw it today. I didn't mean to be even simple to shoot
Yeah, I take it.
I see you there with me. Oh, he does the thing that that makes
That's how I know how to use it so quick, like, because I'm usually very bad. Okay, so you said there's another well in
Ballycrossy, go over from Ballycrossy Cross, and it's known as Tuberdownach. And the history attached to it is ever before there was a statue put up there, it was in the penal laws when the priests had to say mass in the mass rocks and in the forts and places like that. Anyway, they heard the people heard the soldiers arriving with their horses and stuff, so they all fled. So the priest buried the chalice there in that corner of ground. So the people then found they came to pray there, especially if they had sickness, and some were cured. There was real cures from it. So the people of the area then collected money and built a grotto, and it's the most beautiful, peaceful little place. And we had mass there on about a month ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did, yes.
Yeah, and we do the rosary there for the month of May and the month of October.
And is there a special pattern day?
No, but we kind of have lately now trying to promote the rosary. We have a few of us that do the Divine Mercy and do the First Saturdays. We have incorporated that into our prayer groups.
And is there any particular cure in the well?
There was one man in the beginning before the grotto was put up. He was an O'Mahony man, and he was crippled with arthritis. They had to bring him in the horse and car, and they brought him in the horse and car. They had to lift him into the well because there was a little well, it was beside a stream, and he was able to walk out, and he was cured of his complete arthritis. So that was the first cure that I ever heard of down there.
Very good. And where is Ballyheigue?
It's on the Tralee Ballyduff Road, about 3 miles from the main road in Ballyduff, and you come to a cross, it's known as Ballycrossy Cross. You pass Ballycrossy School there, and there's a garden centre there as well. The river goes across there right, and you come in, and you turn right then, and it's only about 400 or 500 yards over that road.
And it's accessible.
It's near the round tower. It's very near the
on the side of the
round
road,
tower,
yeah.
isn't it, ma'am?
Not too
round
far,
tower,
not too far, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
No.
Well, thank you very much.
Not at all. We're so delighted. And we have another grotto then up in Rahila. That's up near Rahila Graveyard. You go up the hill towards Ballyduff.
But that's not a well now, that's
no
a grotto.
well, but it's a grotto, and it's since the Holy Year, I think it was, at the Marion in 1954, 55.
Yeah.
And the land was donated by Hamill family. And we do the First Saturdays there.
Yeah.
We've been doing that now with a good number of years because Our Lady of Fatima asked for the First Saturdays. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hag mis gonig go Ballyheigue Patrin timp fi blin ó hin ha mi tosní techt agus mus nu fúr goléid bhil mis de tolle chéile an lásan agus héimi sis stáid san éis patrón agus bheith rud cin léní hegin sodí agus Had I dehaide lá ó dehaid chéile gcónaí ar damta Brendan ó Cealacháin a cha sé sin caiiltíis deachtaí an agus neadar tan ceamra sé so bhí de méile.
You know, it was a great app.
Hi, Ollie, and happy birthday, Joe. Hi there.
That's all. That's
We did, I did. 2.5 way down the back. You sit. You already know
How much do you want?
That's it, they're going backwards. We are going back, yeah, to keep you warm for the winter.
So, what age were you when you started, or can you even remember when you started coming to the pattern?
We were here in Ballyheigue all our life, and we were, as a child, we started coming to the pattern. And the first time we came to the pattern, there were the old caravans that time, horse and cats, like, you know what I mean? And they were all selling all these little toys, you know. And it was lovely. Then the stalls started to come, you know, and it brought more people into Ballyheigue, and, you know, a lot of people came in for the, you know, Mass. Mass is the most important part of the pattern. Like, we all look forward to that. And from there on, then people started to come into Ballyheigue, and they used to come on buses, they used to come, you know, on cars and things like that for the Mass. And we'd have the bishop down the grotto saying the Mass, and we'd have the priest as well, you know, which was lovely, you know. So that's my, of Ballyheigue. But I know,
and the numbers now compared to the numbers maybe 30, 40 years ago,
oh, well,
would there be a big difference?
Oh, they would be big, because that time it was all locals, like, do you know what I mean? But now they're coming from everywhere, like, do you know what I mean? They're coming from everywhere, like, for the pattern Mass, more especially the Mass, because it's one attraction, like, that's bringing the people is to the Mass, do you know, the pattern Mass. And that will still go on. Only for the last 2 years there was no Mass over the COVID, you see, and that's why. Because the bishop said Mass all right last year, and there was a few of us there, like, you know, and but still, you know, there was no stalls or anything like that here, like, you know, because they were afraid, like, they wouldn't be left in anywhere, like, do you know what I mean? So that's mine.
And have you got your bottle of holy water inside your mala?
No, I didn't bring any holy water today.
It's only down the road from you
That's
anyway.
all.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be going down to semi round anyway tomorrow or after, like, you know. I always says my round during the pattern, like, you know, and I'll be saying that, you know.
So do people come to the Holy Well the night before? Is there a tradition of that?
No, they come for a couple of days before that, and then a couple of days after that. You know, they come during the day, some by night, like, you know. But it's always packed. Today now you couldn't move down there with the crowd that will be saying their, you know, their rosary, like, you know, because what happened? The history of that one time was there was people there as sheep, and that's you man from England, whatever. Cromwell, is it? Yeah, Cromwell came on, and they turned into sheep. They were mass there. They were saying mass there, and then years that came on. Then the years that was happened there. Then in later years was there's a cross came on a stone below in the Grashow where the well was. A cross appeared in it because the caretaker of the Grashow that time, he was telling me that a cross appeared in it, like, you know what I mean. So that's why, so they turned it into big, you know, do then, like, you know, for the mass and everything, like, you know, which is great, like. So that's the history I know about the Grashow. They're still coming, and thanks be to God, it's keeping going. And we love the mass, which is more important, like, you know. So that's all I can do.
We had when you sit here,
Yes, I know.
The snow, the child is new, and so it goes.
Everyone double time or something. I'll bring him up by the next year.
Hi, how are you? Hi, Dalton. How are you?
I just want to pack up the elements because I'm happy to give it.
Hi, Donald. How are you?
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
And this
Brilliant.
today was so
Look at the new Honda, Mum. It's so short.
A fool and his money is easily parted.
I like to do my own driving always. I do for that 2 years ago.
How many years have we come
You
in?
can chat away.
Since we were born.
Since we were born in Benna. We were
Will
coming
we
to
do now?
Ballyheigue.
Since we were born, since we were young little kids, we were coming to Ballyheigue Pattern. Even when we couldn't, we can't walk down the beach because we lived in Sandy Lane, Benna. And we used to walk down as small little kids down, maybe 2 sisters or so together, down to the Pattern. And we didn't have no money then. Back then it would be in the 60s, and we'd have no money, and we used to have to look around at everybody with money, and we just wanted to come. So we're coming for years since we were small little kids, and we would not do without, we would not miss it in any way.
For the world.
For the world.
Being reared in Benna.
We
and
were
Sandy
reared
Lane.
up in Sandy Lane and Benna, and we just love our Ballyheigue Pattern and meeting everybody around, all the local people.
And how different is it now, maybe to when you remember it as small children?
We remember it as small children because I remember crying to my mum for, it was a half a crown then, I'd be half a crown with the money, to be 2 and 6 in all money, and I shouldn't have it, and she usedn't have it to give it to me. So I used to have to just do without money, and we'd walk down the beach from Sandy Lane to Ballyheigue because it was the safest then, because there'd be the odd car on the road coming down the main road, so we'd walk down. And we'd have to pass the ford, which is a big river today, we used to call it the ford, and it was passable then. Back in the 60s we could walk across without any bother. But now, of course, you couldn't do that now. It's a big, huge, it's coming out of the scene. Over the years, it has developed and got very big, and there's no way you could pass it today. But we used to come down, no money in our pockets, looking around. Even we just wanted to see what was going on, and we used to see kids with ice cream, and we couldn't have an ice cream. I couldn't, I'm talking for myself.
I'd see kids with a toy that I wanted and I couldn't have a toy because I didn't have the money. But of course, as years went on, we developed and our life got better, and we were able to be able to buy something in the pattern of Ballyheigue is a lovely gift. Even today, we won't leave it without having some memory of the pattern, because I am thinking back of the day in my childhood as having nothing. Had nothing to spend at the pattern Ballyheigue. I had to just look at everybody that had money and just walk way back up the beach, up to Sandy Lane. But I never missed the pattern Ballyheigue.
No.
That's gorgeous. And tell me, did you take any of the holy water?
Yes, I would never come without. Even though my sister forgot a bottle, and she always forgets, and I had to give her a bottle, and that's my holy water. I know it's in a Coke bottle, but it's my holy water from the well, and I put a little message into Our Lady's hands, a little wish for myself and my family. I put it in behind her hands. We met famous people here today, like Don O'Donnell, is he Don O'Donnell?
Don O'Neill.
Don O'Neill, he's a designer. He's a dress designer. We met him, we had our photo taken with him, even though he's everywhere nowadays, he said. And what else did we do? What else did we do? Oh, I bought some holy medals. I bought a St. Christopher for my son Michael. He's Michael Christopher. I bought some for safe travel on the road in my car. I bought little presents for people of medals, and that's what we like to do. And to think we can buy something and afford it at the pattern in Ballyheigue. Is that enough?
That's fabulous. Thank you. Are you the Coit sister?
Yes, I'm the Coit
We are
one.
sisters.
Kathleen.
We are
I'm the
sisters.
baby. I'm the youngest. I'm one of the
You're not
young
the
ones.
youngest.
One of the younger ones.
Not, you're
But
one
it
of the
doesn't matter.
You're not the baby.
Throw a few questions there and I'll answer them.
Go on.
So you moved into Trinity then afterwards?
Yes.
And did you still keep coming out for the pattern?
I did. I came out then every year. I come into this pattern for donkey's years. And I love it. I said, all these people that you'd have known when you were a child, you'd meet them all around Ballyheigue. They're all...
And was there anything special that you used to eat back then for the pattern?
Chips.
Just chips?
Chips,
There's
yeah.
no mutton pies or anything
No,
like that?
chips was what was the main thing. And a cone.
And a cone.
Was it a cone?
Yeah.
No.
Chips, I think.
We used to like those little windmills that fly around. We used to want one of them when we were young. Do you know the little windmills?
They're still selling them about.
They're still selling them today up there for kids. Yes, they're for kiddies now, yeah. And we used to like to see them. What else would remind me of the pattern?
I think just having the chips up, the chip van. That's my
I think
memories.
having the chips was one of the most highlighted moments, wasn't it, really? Yeah. So, this is I have a son living in Melbourne, Australia, with his wife, Sinead, and their little boy, Rory, and I will be delighted to see this YouTube, and I will tell them about it, and they will have a look at it, right? And hoping to go out there shortly to Australia to meet them. Please God, this year maybe. And they've just got married in June, and I will love to watch this, and I appreciate your video of taking a video for us. All right, I appreciate it.
What you want me now for?
Whatever you want to say at all.
Well, first of all, I'm here in Ballyheigue today, and we're delighted to look around and see the people with smiles so great in their face. The reality of the situation is we're coming from a very low. 2 years have passed and nothing happened. Today our world has turned around and for the better. Whether we like it or not, it's important that people have a social life other than being reprimanded, which we were for the last 2 years. And that has taken its toll, particularly in the younger generation and the older generation. And if we look around you today, we have a great mix, and they all seem to be happy. And I always say happiness is always welcome wherever you go. A frown is seldom good for anything, only people going their own separate way. Thanks a million for allowing me to say a few words.
So you came over from America?
Yes,
home.
yes, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I was born here in Ireland. We left here in 1958 and moved to America, the whole family. And I've tried to come back many times. you know. Now I do the pattern and the trash and night and all kinds. Getting old now, though. We need to get kind of. We're yeah. I'd probably be our last trip. I'm not sure. Yeah. From here we're going to Berlin, Germany. My wife's family are all there.
And I see you're wearing a U.S. Army veteran hat.
Yes, I did that too. No, I was in the Army for 6 years. Yeah, I might come down and have a couple of pints, and I'd be satisfied. Yeah.
Very good. And he also got some periwinkles and dilish.
Oh yeah. You know what dilish and periwinkles are?
I do.
And I got the crew beans at home.
So he's all set.
All tradition.
So it's a day like long ago.
Yeah, yep.
And the crew beans are part of the tradition, are they?
Oh yes, oh yes. You have to have them.
And I don't think you'd find them in America, would you?
Unless I did them myself. I was a butcher for 40 years.
Oh, shit, for God's sake.
Yeah, so I could do them myself, but they still don't taste as good.
No.
Neither does the Guinness. It's got to be here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
enjoy the grub.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Lovely to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, sister, how long are you coming to the Ballyheigue pattern? The pattern?
I suppose since I was the age of 3 or 4, I live here, you know. I did live here.
Very good. And it was a big day?
Very big day, yeah.
And did you have any traditions that you used to do in the family on the day?
Well, the evening before we go to the ground and we pay the rounds, which would consist of 3 rosaries. And then we would go to the Mass in the morning. And again, like, we do this and then we go back and have our lunch and maybe bring friends back and share with them.
So you used to do your rounds the evening before?
Yeah, well that's what you used to say. Yeah, people can do them maybe the day before or what, which consists of 3 rosaries.
And what's the cure in the well? Is there a specific cure?
I don't know. Well, a lot of people, like sometimes before that you would see crutches up and as if they left their crutches after them, but I mean I never did hear of it. Yeah, but people have great devotion.
Thanks very much, sister. Thank you very much.